Good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 15. We are almost at the finish line. So I hope that you are feeling energized about this week and about getting your last assignment in before we head into the final week of class next week. Okay, so this week, your only goal is completing your final writing assignment, What is School For? So you'll notice in the module that I added back the Unit 5 overview. This has been linked all over the module, but for those of you who have questions about this assignment, or if you're just not real clear on what I'm asking you to do, this overview page includes the video where I walk you through the assignment step by step. So if you have any questions, I would absolutely encourage you to watch that video again. The learning objectives are also posted in the module for this week. The assignment in terms of what's required, and I'll get back to that in a minute. And then the series of all of those articles from the New York Times. You have your assignment. This is where you will be uploading your Google Doc link with editing access and your reflection. Remember, both of these are required. Both are required, okay? And then we're at the end. I didn't assign a writing territory this week because I really want your focus to be on that last essay. Okay, so a couple things about this final assignment. First, it cannot be turned in late. So the assignment is due on Friday, this Friday, December 2nd. You have that grace period until Sunday, December 4th at 11:59 p.m. Don't wait until 11:58 to try to submit it, right? Try and get it in sooner rather than later. I can't extend it because next week is the final week of class. And so what is going to happen is as the assignments are coming in this week, I will be reading them and giving feedback, okay? So you can kind of check to see if you're submitting it on the early end, then you're much more likely to get it back sometime later this week. Next week, once I have all of the essays done and returned, then I will open up the end of the semester work. That will include a course survey, which I'll probably open that up a little bit later. But the most important thing it will include is your end of semester grade proposal, which you cannot complete until you have your essay returned. So you see how that works, right? So I have to have the essays in by the 4th, right? That's why it cannot be extended on that one. So that's a firm deadline, okay? The other thing I need to remind you of, there are a handful of you who have not checked your emails or your Canvas comments or any other way for me to try to reach out to you. So maybe on the off chance that you're watching this, but let me just reiterate. There are no grades in this class. Well, sorry, let me backtrack. There are no points in this class and there are no grades attached to your learning until the end of the grades or end of the semester grade proposal. The reason why I bring that up is because the reflections at the end of each unit, those are required. Let me say that again. The end of unit reflections, and we've had 4 of them. This last one will make number 5. Those reflection documents are required. The assignments that were attached to those are required. And so if you have not completed, like let's say, for example, you did not turn in the main story at a glance, and you did not turn in that reflection. That was Unit 3 work. That was like the end of the Unit 3 work, okay? If you did not turn that in, and if you do all of the work, you will not pass this class because those end of unit assignments are required. So, and that's in the syllabus. So again, double check, make sure if you're thinking, oh my gosh, is she talking to me? If you're checking your email and you're kind of up on all the comments that I give you in Canvas, you're probably fine. You can always check, right? I'm talking about the end of the unit work. Now, for those of you who have random assignments that are missing and you're wondering, can I turn those in? Remember, at the very end of the semester, that's next week, you can submit one of those assignments as part of your plea. It can't be the end of unit work, right? It needs to be, it could be like a writing territory, or maybe you missed some discussion or something like that. I will have all of those directions for you next week, but it can't be the end of the unit work. Those are kind of like your major pieces for the class, and those are significant. And so those are the required pieces of the class. Everything else you can miss, but you can turn one of them in next week. All right, you probably have a lot of questions about how things are going to go down next week, and I am not necessarily going to answer them in this video, largely because I want your focus to be on this last piece of writing. For many of you, this is going to be your last essay that you ever write in an English class in college, unless you're a comm major or humanities, or if you're an English major, of course. But you might not ever have to take another English class. And so you want this to really be a good representation of your writing, of your college writing career, right? Now, if you're going to go on and you're going to write more English essays, then by all means, you still want this to be a good piece of writing, right? But I really want you to think about, for those of you for whom this piece is your last piece, I want you just to kind of think about how you can make it representative of what you've learned, not just in this class, but for yourself as a writer, right? How can you use it to develop your voice? Okay, about the assignment. You need to make sure, again, because this cannot be revised, you must make sure that your writing assignment meets the requirements. That includes, you need to have sources. That includes the word count. I want you to be thinking about all the things that we've worked on this semester. Those are things you want to add. Your organization, your rhetorical skills, the type of reasoning that you're using. Those are all things I want you to be considering. But the assignment has specific requirements that you must meet in order to make sure your assignment's complete. Okay? All right. With that said, I have a slew of conference hours this week. I have extended hours Wednesday night for the evening folks. But I have hours every day this week. So if you want to come in during any of those hours, you don't need an appointment. You're welcome to just come in. If you want to guarantee space to have a conversation, then you're going to click on schedule a conference and we can meet during that time. If you want to book 2 appointments back to back because you feel like you really need to talk some things through, great. Select 2 back to back. You can see what availability I have here. The link is always the same. It's the Zoom with Miller link, which you can get here. But once you schedule the conference, that email will also include the link. All right. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you're concerned about something, let me know sooner rather than later. And yeah, I look forward to reading your work this week. All right. Have a great week. Week 15. You're almost there. Oh, last but not least, I found out this morning that the LMC scholarships are open. So all of that work that you did early in the semester, your LMC scholarship prompts, now you get to use them. So after the break or after the finals are over, I would strongly encourage you to revise those, get your instructors lined up for who you want to write that recommendation, and get it submitted before the spring starts, because once spring starts, you know, college life back into gear. But the scholarship responses are open and you already have something written. So why not apply? Whether you're transferring, whether you are continuing, there are scholarships available for you. So I would absolutely encourage you to do that. Okay, now I'm done. Have a great week.